Everyone loves the pastries and buns from Delight Bakery. But what if visiting this bakery could take your life? Myra was a video content creator who used to visit new restaurants and bakeries to vlog and review food. Her life was going well. One day, when no one was home, she had to pick up her 12-year-old younger brother, Ryan, from school. That same day, she received an invitation to review the food at a newly opened bakery. She was very excited to check it out because she was going to be the first person to review it. As soon as school was over, Myra picked up Ryan and headed toward the bakery. Ryan, exhausted from his day at school, kept asking her to go home. But Myra, whose followers had significantly decreased in the past month, was determined to make a video about this bakery to regain her popularity. She somehow managed to keep him quiet and kept driving. They had been driving on a rough, unpaved road for quite some time after leaving the main road. Finally, they could see the bakery in the distance. Ryan, who had been restless in the car all this time, suddenly fell silent upon seeing the bakery. Myra parked the car and opened the door for him, but he refused to step out. She even tried to tempt him with the pastries inside, but he kept staring at the bakery without saying a word. Myra shook him firmly, and then Ryan suddenly started crying loudly and, in a panicked voice, said that as they approached the bakery gate, he saw several small children. He described how all of them were covered in blood-stained clothes. Trembling, he pointed towards the entrance and said that those children were now standing right in front of the bakery door, warning them not to go inside. Myra listened to her brother, but quickly dismissed his words, assuming it was just the result of the horror movie he had watched the previous night. Ignoring his fears, she firmly held his hand and started leading him toward the bakery entrance. As they stepped inside, they found the bakery completely empty. But soon, an elderly woman appeared, smiling warmly. She handed Ryan a sweet bun. The moment he held it in his hands, his crying stopped instantly, and he began eating it happily. Just then, an old man's voice came from behind, welcoming Myra. He assured her that if she was feeling troubled, there was a playing area inside for her brother. It had lots of board games, which could keep him entertained. Hearing this, Myra felt relieved, because now she could focus on filming her video without any distractions. She held Ryan's hand and followed the elderly woman as she led him to the children's play area. The bakery was absolutely stunning, filled with vintage and expensive chairs, elegant tables, and beautiful lights. However, for some strange reason, everything looked odd through Myra's camera. The visuals on the screen seemed distorted and eerie as she recorded the video and played it back. She noticed faint shadows of small children appearing in the footage. The moment she realized this, her phone suddenly switched off on its own. Just then, the elderly woman returned with a gentle smile, seated Myra comfortably, and placed some chocolates in front of her. Myra had never seen such beautiful chocolate pastries before. They looked so soft and delicious that, for a moment, she forgot everything strange that had happened earlier. She eagerly took a bite of the soft pastry and began eating with great delight. As she enjoyed the pastry, the elderly man and woman returned, carrying a large covered plate. Seeing such a big plate, Myra assumed it contained a special dish, but when they lifted the lid, they revealed 2 large patties. Smiling, they told her that these were the bakery's special meat patties. Myra took a bite of one, and the taste was so incredible that she devoured the entire patty without hesitation. She couldn't understand how someone could make something so delicious. Just then, she suddenly remembered she had been so absorbed in eating that she had completely forgotten about her brother, Ryan. She thought of taking the remaining patty to him. However, when she reached the play area, she was shocked to see that Ryan was nowhere to be found. Panic set in as she searched for him throughout the entire bakery, but he was nowhere in sight. Desperate, Myra made her way to the bakery's kitchen. What she saw there made her freeze in terror. The elderly man was standing at a table, slicing a human heart into small pieces with a knife, placing them onto a plate. Meanwhile, the elderly woman was stuffing those pieces into the patties. But now, what she was about to see would cling to her soul, even in death. In the dim light of the kitchen's corner, Myra spotted her brother. Ryan lay lifeless on the cold floor, his small body covered in deep cuts across his chest. It looked as if his chest had been opened up and his heart removed. A horrifying realization struck Myra. Like a lightning bolt, the heart the old man was chopping into pieces wasn't just anyone's. It was her little brother Ryan's. Seeing this horrifying scene, Myra's breath caught in her throat, and a sudden scream escaped her lips. The elderly man and woman turned toward her, their faces twisting into eerie smiles. Panic surged through Myra as she bolted out of the bakery as fast as she could. She rushed to her car, her hands trembling as she started the engine. Just as she pulled onto the road, she glanced at the rearview mirror, and what she saw made her blood run cold. Reflected in the mirror were the ghostly figures of numerous children, their chests covered in deep cuts. Among them was one familiar face, her little brother, Ryan. Just as she reached the main road, her car lost control, and everything went dark. 2 days later, Myra woke up in a hospital bed. As soon as she opened her eyes, her parents, who had been by her side, burst into tears. They told her that Ryan had been missing since the day of her accident and was nowhere to be found. Hearing this, Myra, still shaken, recounted everything that had happened inside the bakery. As soon as she mentioned the place, a dreadful silence filled the room. Her father's face turned pale, and then he told her something that made her entire body freeze. That bakery had been shut down for 15 years. Its owners had been infamous for murdering children and consuming their hearts. Someone had eventually reported them to the police, but before they could be arrested, both had taken their own lives. Since then, the bakery had remained abandoned, nothing more than a haunted ruin. Still unable to believe it, Myra insisted on going back to the location. But when she arrived, her heart nearly stopped. There was no bakery, only a decayed, crumbling structure overtaken by nature. The place was nothing but a lifeless ruin. From that day on, Myra gave up food blogging forever. The pain of losing her little brother was something she knew she would never recover from.